Hello all. I apologize for not being around last week. I had a funeral on Friday, and I actually have another funeral this Friday and another funeral Saturday. So I thought I would try and make up for this. This is my very shoddy recreation. Well, this is my Gryffindor Digs. I have a white shirt that I wear underneath. This is kind of like a black wraparoundy dress, contrary to the traditional gray. And this tie I hand painted with a little fake Gryffindor thing on the bottom. And then I have a snitch. I also have these hats. It's actually Alex's robes from when he was Victor Crumb. So, yes. And of course, no Hermione outfit can be done without her spew. These are my little trolls and house elves that I've saved and given human rights to. You can't really see them. This whole thing is full of them. Da-da-da-da-da. I made this a long time ago. I'm finding them real jobs. Here's my wand. I'm actually thinking about ordering a new one, but I ordered this one off of Etsy. It is, I think, 10 inches. Willow core, or willow and phoenix. And I hold it like this because then you can see the, kind of see the thingy down here. One of a kind. It's just made with polymer, and it's wrapped around wood. I hope to get wood ones though eventually. I was trying desperately think of which place I wanted to read from, and I wasn't entirely sure, and I know you guys picked some great ones. The Night Bus is a favorite of mine. So is the Burrow, going to the Burrow for the first time after the flying car. But I think I'm going to be a originist. Originist? I don't know. And I'm gonna read from the first one. It's really good. So if you forget, they're at the hotel, and he gets more letters. Uncle Vernon was back, and he was smiling. He was also carrying a long, thin package, and didn't answer Aunt Petunia when she asked what he had bought. "Found the perfect place," he said. "Come on, everyone, out." It was very cold outside the car. Uncle Vernon was pointing at what looked like a large rock way out to sea. Perched on top of the rock was the most miserable little shack you could ever imagine. One thing was certain, there was no television in there. "Storm forecast for tonight," said Uncle Vernon gleefully, clapping his hands together, "and this gentleman's kindly agreed to lend us his boat." A toothless old man came ambling up to them, pointing with a rather wicked grin at the old rowing boat bobbing in the iron-gray water below them. "I've already got us some rations," said Uncle Vernon, "so all aboard." It was freezing in the boat. Icy sea spray and rain crept down their necks, and a chilly wind whipped their faces. After what seemed like hours, they reached the rock, where Uncle Vernon, slipping and sliding, led the way to the broken-down house. The inside was horrible. It smelled strongly of seaweed. The wind whistled through the gaps in the wooden walls, and the fireplace was damp and empty. There were only 2 rooms. Uncle Vernon's rations turned out to be a packet of crisps each and 4 bananas. He tried to start a fire, but the empty crisp packets just smoked and shriveled up. "Could do with some of those letters now, eh?" he said cheerfully. He was in a very good mood. Obviously thought nobody stood a chance of reaching them here in a storm to deliver post. Harry privately agreed, though the thought didn't cheer him up at all. As night fell, the promised storm blew up around them. Spray from the high waves splattered the halls of the hut, and a fierce wind rattled the filthy windows. Aunt Petunia found a few moldy blankets in the second room, and made up a bed for Dudley on the moth-eaten sofa. She and Uncle Vernon went off to the lumpy bed next door, and Harry was left to find the softest bit of floor he could, and to curl up the thinnest, most ragged blanket. The storm raged more and more ferociously as the night went on. Harry couldn't sleep. He shivered and turned over, trying to get comfortable, his stomach rumbling with hunger. Dudley's snores were drowned by the low rolls of thunder, that started near midnight. The lighted dial of Dudley's watch, which was dangling over the edge of the sofa on his fat wrist, told Harry he'd be 11 in 10 minutes' time. So, yes. It's one of my favorite parts. I don't like how they cut out the hotel in the movie. I know it was one of those things that you can get away with, but I did not like it, Sam I am. I did not like it. 3 eggs and ham, or green eggs and ham. Anyways, I guess I will stop here. When I was a kid, I was really afraid of the dark. And I had to have my door open with the hall light on because it really freaked me out. I was convinced that there were vampires living in the attic, which of course the access to is in my room. And I'm not talking sparkly pyre things. I'm talking like hardcore vampire things. And I'm also still very deathly afraid of spiders. When I was little, I climbed up in the closet to get my little fake computer down from the shelf. And I fell because the box I was standing on basically crumbled. And my face kind of landed in the corner of the closet. And there was this big spider there. And of course when you're little, well, it was probably like the size of a toonie. But when you're little, it was like this big to me. And it scared the crap out of me. And now even the tiniest spider, when they come out of nowhere, that's what gets me. Yes. I hope all is well where you are. Happy birthday to Joel.